Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to New Knife Friday, and we've got a good one today. It is a big one, as you can see, a lot bigger than the last one that we did. Maybe it's just the box that got so big, but I figured, we've been doing some El Cheapos here lately, and, well, I didn't break the bank on this one, but I had a guy in the comments, what is it, at Colts Customs. Yeah, he suggested that I might want to try this thing out. So I said, hey, you know what? Let's do it. We've only got a couple people commenting in the comments telling me about the different kinds of machetes that they want me to try out. So I figured, let's try it. Today I will be modeling this old Sailor's Marlin spike knife. I believe this was a knot that they used on, well, sailboats, ships, and they would use that spike right there to undo knots and to help them tie different kinds of knots. It's got a little, just one little blade on it, and that little spike. And this actually depresses to keep that locked into place. Cool little knife, man. Yeah, all right, enough with the little knife. Let's get to the big knife. So I'm just gonna slice that open. And will it peel open like that? Oh, we got some paper. Lots and lots of paper. Paper! Paper! No more paper. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Nothing else in the box. Do y'all know what that is? This thing is heavy, buddy. Heavy. It is the Cold Steel all-terrain chopper. I've had a little bit of experience with some Cold Steel knives. I actually don't really mind them all that much. I had the Cold Steel Bolo for a little bit, but that ended up being inherited by a guy that I was working with. He was a smaller stature guy, and it just turned out that, well, I believe that was about an 16 or an 18-inch knife, and it just fit his frame better. That particular knife took a bend, and it wasn't terrible. He ended up, he still used it, but, wow, this is I don't think we're going to hurt this one. Okay, so sheath, and let me tell you something about Cold Steel sheaths. I really like what they do with the bottom down here. This prevents the knife from ever cutting its way out of that sheath. This kind of stuff will get ripped up over time. The rivets in here really help that, but Cold Steel used to sell a 24-inch Latin machete sheath that was in this same kind of style, and that was my favorite sheath. If anybody knows where to find those things, let me know, because I haven't been able to find them. It's a tight sheath. It's a tight fitting sheath for the Tramontina in particular, and I could really keep that Tramontina nice and clean. I'd hit it with some WD at the end of the day, and I would slide it back into that sheath, and all the dirt and grit and leaves and stuff like that would get in there would just kind of act as sandpaper. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are you guys seeing this? Yeah, you're seeing this. Okay, so number one, this is a two-hander. And I don't even know how heavy that is. I'm going to have to look up some numbers. All right, let's bring it in close. Maybe it's just because I've been reviewing turds lately, but it really is nice to hold something that you could tell somebody spent an extra 5 minutes making sure that a-holes like me weren't going to ruin in one day. Okay, so the Cold Steel all-terrain chopper. This is a monster, buddy. A few things about it. It's 1055 high carbon steel. So that's well, I don't want to say high carbon, but 1055 carbon steel. That gives me some peace of mind that this thing will retain a good edge. Cold Steel is, they make knives. That's all they do. The thing is straight as an arrow. It says that it has a 16-inch blade and a 6-inch handle. And I don't know about you guys, but I think if that's a 6-inch handle, then my wife needs to go work at Cold Steel. So she can learn what inches are, right? Am I right? Okay, I'm going to stop with that. Yeah, because that handle is every bit of 9 inches from right up here at the top, the ricasso, all the way to the back of the tang. That is 9 inches of handle, and it looks like we have about 7.5 inches of where you can get both of your hands into. All right, so Cold Steel was telling a fish story, a reverse fish story on the handle. Let's see about the actual length of this blade. And that might not have been Cold Steel. That was what Amazon said for the item dimensions. And all right, so from the very tip of the knife to the handle, we are at 21.5 inches, and it looks like that's 21.5 of exposed steel and 19.75 of sharpenable edge. The slant that we have going on here, that is for a little over 4.5, and from the spine to the handle is 19 inches. And the same place that I was reading the 6-inch handle length also said that it had a 2.8 millimeter thickness. And I don't know about you guys, but I use inches, and I mainly use tenths because I'm in the survey world. If y'all didn't notice, my tape measure reads tenths and inches because in the survey world, we use the engineer scale. So yeah, we go tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Anyway, enough of that. The country of origin listed on Amazon was Taiwan, but this thing is stamped Cold Steel, South Africa. If that is focusing, can you focus for me? Focus. South Africa. I wouldn't be mad about Taiwan. The Taiwanese have been making some okay steel here lately. So yeah, if it was from Taiwan, I wouldn't be mad about it. Let's go ahead and put this thing back in the sheath. Oh my God. Such a big, I mean, can we even call this a knife anymore? I mean, such a big blade. All right, the snaps are nice. They've got some like anti-rust coating on them. And look at that, Cold Steel did us a solid, and they put a snap on this. Gerber, take notes. I spent, I think, $34 on this blade, and I just checked on Amazon right now. You can get this thing for $31, 31 and some change. All right, so we've also got this strap here, and I guess you can wear it like a ninja. One of my other buddies in the comments was talking about the Jungle Master machete that we reviewed recently, and he had something that I'm going to quote him on. He said, "Those things are marketed towards mall ninjas." And I literally laughed out loud whenever I read that comment, because I knew exactly the kind of person that he was talking about. A mall ninja. All right. Okay, so we've got some adjustments on this thing. It looks like we got the sheath. They had to go and say it, didn't they? Sheath made in China. All right, it couldn't all be great, right? How does this work? How do you work? Okay, so you're gonna come on out like that, and I'm gonna stand up. Yeah, so you can just sling this thing over your shoulder, take it on like a book bag, or I guess this is to be like carried like a I don't know, like some kind of mall ninja. Yeah, you can put it around your back, and I don't know how you'd undo the straps if you had to do any kind of quick cutting. This is obviously not like a. I wouldn't view this as like an everyday tool, because it's all buttoned in there right now, and well, I'm just not that flexible, guys and girls. Oh yeah, that's another cool thing. Yeah, it's listed as ambidextrous and unisex for all of my lady friends out there. We've got a few subscribers that like watching Koa Mayonnaise, the red-nosed pit bull, and I'm pretty sure that's all they're here for, but I don't mind giving y'all that because he's my buddy. Okay, so you carry this thing on your back, and I guess whenever you get to the spot where you've got to do some all-terrain chopping, you go ahead and take this thing out of the sheath nice and carefully. And yeah, so that's how the chopping gets down. Let's see how it feels in the hand standing up. Come on out of here now, you big mamma jamma. Okay. Yeah, you're not gonna want to one-hand that. Can y'all hear that? It's got a good sound to it. Yeah. You're not gonna want to one-hand that because I can't bring that thing back. So it is definitely a two-hand kind of chopper. Yeah, I would not want to work with this all day, and I don't really feel like we're going to try to sell this knife to you like it would be an all-day chopper, because it's just kind of ridiculous, isn't it? This is a this is a toy, and it's a tool at the same time. You know, it's hard for me to say it's a toy because it's a knife and it could take your friggin' hand off. It could probably take a head off in one swipe, but it's hard to even say novelty, right? Because it's still functional. But I guess we could just kind of say it's a little ridiculous. It says in the description that it can handle most anything thrown at it, from light vegetation to thick vegetation to small trees. But we're going to try it on some even bigger trees because it says all terrain, right? All terrain. So trees are in terrain, big trees are in terrain. So we're going to try it on all terrain. Yeah, man, this is another big knife, and I want to thank you guys for coming by, and thank you to Colt Customs. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to get your name right, I promise. Colt Customs for recommending this behemoth fun blade. The Cold Steel All-Terrain Chopper.
Ain't no need to write a song.